Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? How you fucking doing? How's it going? Your boy just ordered some Chipotle, set up pickup for 5:30 right after this motherfucking stream because we need some food, yo. Yesterday was a long day, ladies, gentlemen, fellas. How you doing, yo? We woke up, get this, ready? We woke up yesterday. I went to a cafe. I ate a motherfucking breakfast sandwich, a.k.a. it was just a normal sandwich, but I ate it during breakfast time. What's up in the chat? I see some people saying, hey there, fellas, what's up, Steve? Yeah, man. I ate that shit at like 10, and then I didn't eat until... And then I went on a run this morning, my dumb ass, not eating for 24 hours, not even noticing it because we were just working nonstop. I got to travel on Thursday, going to be up in the mountains hiking this weekend. And forgot to eat. So I'm trying to get a lot of stuff in. Go on a run this morning. My body's just shutting down. I've never experienced something like this before. Shit just starts shaking. I start my body's like shaking. I have like no energy. I'm dizzy. And I'm like, ooh, we about to fucking die. So your boy had to stop and walk to the fucking bagel shop and get him a breakfast sandwich. Because that shit wasn't working out for us. That shit was not working out. So, we're going to need to get some more fuel up in this body. So we got to get that Chipotle. Yo, Tequila Tuesday, baby. Uh-oh, it was Margarita Monday, National Margarita Day yesterday. Hey, how many of you tuned in? Nick Ercolano's stream. It's up on his channel right now. We talked for an hour and a half while drinking margs. I think I drank 4 total yesterday, 3 on the stream in the hour and a half. Yeah. It was a good time. We talk business. We talk lifestyle. We answer people's questions in the chat in general. It was a lot of fun. That's the type of content that I love doing, that interactive content, a little bit fresh. The Bread Gang made $100 on Jock Market. Kendrick Nunn last night, says Andre Brown. Hey, yo, if you don't know now, you know. Jock Market's the sponsor of the show. And if you don't know who they are, you're about to know. We got the opening bell show tonight. I got to get the thumbnail out for that one, but that shit's going to be popping off at 7. So be sure to get up in the club. Be sure to get in that opening bell swag. No time to run, only time to make money. Oh, no, you got to be running. Look. I'm actually terrified because I'm somebody who used to be a fat kid in high school, and then I started running, and running relieves stress. Running makes me feel great. You get the runner's high. It's obviously good cardio, good workout. But I got to just get my mind to do a marathon. I usually train over the summers. It's easier, 3 months for half marathons, and then this year I couldn't run one, but usually do that. And I got to just run a marathon and then retire from running, right? Or at least as much as I do, because my knees are going to be shot by the time I'm fucking 50. Margaritas, dude, money time. Yes, it's money time. You spooked me. What's up? How you doing? The post Margarita Monday stream. Yeah. That's what today is. Seller door, your mom's hoarder. What should we talking about? James Johnson has a sleeper pivot off of Willie. I mean, right now I'm projecting in the Dallas guys, so I'm projecting in him the Dallas guys right now, but I'm not going to give James Johnson all the minutes. We have to see if Maxi Kleber's also out, then James Johnson starts to get all the minutes. But right now, the last that I saw on Porzingis was that he's still basically questionable, right? And then James Johnson is... So, did we get a status update on Porzingis? Is he out? Listed out Porzingis and Maxi Kleber. So there you go. Fuck me, man. This is what you get from running and not eating all day. Sal, did you hear about Tiger Unreal? Yeah, I saw the most recent updates. Don't know anything more than that, but it's scary and it's sad for sure. Porzingis and Maxi Kleber, that's something I'm going to have to update after the stream. Your boy too busy fucking trying to get people signed up for a new website, trying to get people up in the streets doing some other stuff from the fantasy content. Thoughts on Kemba today? Yeah, not too much on Kemba. I really haven't been there on him. So if I go over to Boston right now, so let me do this just to get them off the screen. So if I go over to Boston right now, it's just a bunch of guys that look interesting to me, basically from Tice up, all their expensive players, quote unquote, look somewhat interesting, but none of them look outstanding. Pulling up Dallas now, I basically just end up taking out Kleber's 26 minutes. And then I got to take out Mr. Kristoff's 28 minutes. So, obviously going to change a good amount of stuff. Let's do this. Cool. What's up, Sal Middleton or Van Vliet? Last game to $100 apart. I don't know what $100 apart means, my guy. What's that mean? What's $100 apart mean? I'm curious as to why I think we're getting a little bit of lag right now. I think we're on the right Wi-Fi. We should be all good. But I'm like a half a second behind, sadly. I don't know what that is about. We all logged in. We got everything clicking. We got everything chooching well. I'm not too sure what that's about. Sal, change your opinion on Lee versus Smith Jr. We talked about it a bit earlier. You were still on Smith Jr. over Lee. I split their minutes. I don't like Smith Jr. Well, we have to see who starts, first of all. If Smith Jr. starting, I'll project him to be the starter. If not, I don't really like either, to be honest with you. I have Lee projecting out right now for nothing crazy in terms of fantasy points. So I'll pull up Lee's fantasy points right now. It's nothing crazy. Right now for Detroit, for me, I split their minutes. I gave them like 24 minutes apiece each, and I currently have Mr. Lee at 17.1 fantasy points, and I have Dennis Smith Jr. at 20.2. So obviously at his price point, not really that interested. Josh Jackson or Chetty Osman? Chetty Osman. Do you think it's okay to pay up for Russ, Harden, and Kyrie and fill the rest with scrubs? The scrubs that we currently have on this slate, I would say no. Yeah, I would say no. I'm not trying to squeeze all three of those guys in. Like, who are you squeezing into your studs? Al-Farouq Amino and DeAndre Bembry to get you like 20 points apiece? I don't know where the real, like, the scrubs you're paying for are Al-Farouq Amino and DeAndre Bembry right now. And maybe it's Lee. I'm not too much on that boat. So yeah, no, I right now I'm only looking to get two studs. Revised Dalaruski dozen? Yeah, it's revised. I still got to update for Porzingis, and I still got to update for Kleber. I missed that news earlier. I didn't even miss it. I just haven't been looking at news yet. Have not been analyzing this slate much outside of the early projections and minutes projection stuff. Porzingis out, Kleber out. It's funny. You make one mistake and the entire chat's like, oh, we gotta correct this man. We got you. Josh Richardson or Finney Smith on Superdraft tonight. Yeah, I have my Superdraft interest to Patreon. We also have on Patreon now an optimizer. Today's the second day in use for NBA. It was just released today for the PGA, so we have an optimizer now if you're a Patreon member for the PGA and for the NBA. So be sure to check all of that shit out. Check all of that shit out. Let me take off. I think I have on autofocus. Let's take that off so we can get our toner to be right. So the question on Josh Jackson or Finney Smith on Superdraft today. Oof. My actual answer is neither. I think they're both outside my top 30 plays right now. Let me see. So on Superdraft today, Finney Smith is my number 73 overall play, so definitely don't go there. Josh Jackson is my 100 and Josh Jackson is not on Superdraft today. You say Josh Richardson. I was going to say Josh Jackson is not on Superdraft. Josh Richardson would be the play there. Definitely not Dorian Finney-Smith. So Josh Richardson for me is my number 42 overall play. Rashawn Holmes' price seems decent. Yeah, if we get the full minutes, right? If he's not going to be minutes limited, if he's going to play 28 to 31 minutes, 32 minutes maybe even, I like Rashawn Holmes today if that's going to be the case. I currently have Rashawn Holmes projected out for 27 minutes. He just looks like a fringe play for me. I ran 8 miles the last 2 days, 65-degree weather here and loving it. I want to run a marathon too. Used to be over 300 pounds and I'm working on it. Hey, love to hear that, man. Round of applause to you. Way to fucking go, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Today was like the first day. It was nice here. It's going to be 70 here tomorrow. Today was like the first day. It's nice. I got to get outside more before the day ends. But yeah, I only did like, I was going to do a 5-mile run. Only ended up doing 3 because my body was like shutting down. I hadn't eaten in like 25 hours at that point. And the thing that I did eat yesterday was literally just like I ate like 500 calories yesterday just because I forgot to eat. Like it was nighttime. It was like 8:30 p.m. and I was like, fuck, I need to like eat something. And I was going to have like a bagel. And I was like, I don't want to eat a fucking bagel before bed. I feel like a piece of shit in the morning. Yo, Zal, just getting here. Hope your visit to Margaritaville went well. Yeah, it went very well. Is Dwight Powell a yes with the news? Yeah, so people just getting in here. I got to update the news for Maxi Kleber and Porzingis. I haven't been paying attention too much to the news today. Just been running around trying to get some stuff done. But I can tell you right now that Willie Cauley-Stein is going to be a yes. Dwight Powell is going to be a yes. Those guys are going to both project for probably like 25 minutes apiece for me. Like right now, if I had to update just what we're doing with Dallas for this news that guys are going to be out. Obviously, Luka starts to become, I would say, somewhat more of a priority. I think I still like guys like Giannis on the slate a little bit more, maybe even Harden. But Luka's like point per minute production will go up. But if I just did a quick run on what the minutes would start to look like, it would start to probably look a little bit something like this. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be looking very nice now. I would expect starting for Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm probably going to do something like this. Let's go 25 with Willie Cauley-Stein and 25 for Dwight Powell, which is going to make them both pretty clear yeses for me today. Outside of that, the only other guy who really starts to pop off, James Johnson. I'm going to add these minutes up completely, but this is just stuff that I'm looking at, like rotations of past games with him out right now on the screen, and this is kind of what you're seeing. Boban, I expect to enter the rotation, give him 1 or 2 minutes. Actually, I don't even expect him to, but I'm just kind of throwing those final minutes there. Instead of trying to guess. I think Dorian Finney-Smith can probably see an extra minute. So based on what you're seeing here, this is going to kind of do stuff like this for me. It's going to, based on these rotations, I think it's still probably going to keep him a no. It'll probably continue to make these guys maybes. It's going to make Tim Hardaway Jr. So right now as we're talking through this, I'll answer your questions, but I'm going to finalize this after the stream, but I'm basically showing you what's happening right now for me from the perspective of this Dallas team. So Dallas, we can upgrade it all right now. I think we can kind of just get rid of Awandu, and we can get rid of some of these other guys to stop taking up so much space on the screen. So without Kleber, without Porzingis, I'll add up all the minutes to make it add up to the proper 240 minutes. But this is what you're getting. You're getting an increase in Willie Cauley-Stein, of course. You're getting an increase in Dwight Powell, a nice increase in Tim Hardaway. I honestly think that Tim Hardaway looks like one of the better options, one of the better value options on the entire slate now. Again, if you're a patron, this will all be updated in about 45 minutes for you. Once we're done with the stream, I'll finalize all this stuff. And Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein will look good. I'm going to prefer whoever starts. It's as simple as that. Whoever starts, I'll give the extra minute bump to. So I'm giving them like 25 minutes apiece. Once we get a starting news, I'll give one guy 26 minutes, one guy 23 or 25, 23, right? Something like that. Do you like Lee tonight? Sabin Lee, whatever his name is. I think he's going to be fool's gold if he picks up ownership. Look, he looked fine in the last game. You got a bench Dennis Smith Jr. for having 2 turnovers early on and then 4 turnovers total in the game. But if people are going to be running to Lee at 3,200 because he's a point guard, if he starts today, fine. But if he starts today, then go to him. We can project him for more minutes. I'm not too secure that he'll be starting today. And even if he does start today, I don't know why people assume that he's just going to be like a fantasy point per minute producer. I have him projected right now. So I have Lee projected. If he starts, it's a totally different story. I have him currently for 24 minutes. I could probably give him 28 if he starts. 24 minutes, and I have him projecting for like 17 fantasy points. So I personally have zero interest right now. If he starts, I'll start to gather some interest. But based on the ownership that he's going to be at today, I can very easily pass on where he's currently getting ownership. Best low-owned value pick on Superdraft tonight. I feel like you don't get a couple of players with the value you will not cash in Superdraft. Yeah, well, the value is all in the multiplier, of course, right? So, like, you're going to have great options. Like, all the pay-up studs on DraftKings usually are quality plays over on Superdraft. I think guys today, like if you want to say, like, lower-owned that have higher upside, like, I think De'Aaron Fox on both platforms, 1.3x multiplier. Superdraft, there's some high upside there. I think Halliburton at a 1.6x multiplier. Like, this matchup tonight against Brooklyn, there's major ceiling potential here. For both Halliburton, Fox, and really those guys that are going to be filling in potentially if there's no Barnes today, even better. But those guys right there. So I think Fox is going to look a quality play. Halliburton on Superdraft, the 1.6x multiplier, continues to look good. Daniel Tice says Nicholas Bennett. Yeah, Daniel Tice is still in a player pool for me. So if I have to update my current player pool, so I'll try and update the news for the Dallas guys like while we're on stream right here, just to kind of give you an idea of what my overall ranks are, what those guys are going to be overall ranking out for me. So Luka becomes a yes. He grades out for about 60 points, a little bit more than that for me right now. Porzingis is obviously not playing. And we can go down. Jalen Brunson might honestly start to become a yes for me. Dorian Finney-Smith, meh. Like, not much changes overall for like a Dorian Finney-Smith character. Somebody says, what about Tiger Woods? Pray for Tiger Woods. Yes, very sad news on Tiger Woods. I don't know the full details, so I don't want to comment on too much. I just seen the quick headlines on Twitter. Tiger Woods in a car accident, having surgery on his knees, but we don't have, or his legs, not knees, his legs. No other news on that. James Johnson is projected to start. Yeah, I don't know what that means to me. I'm not sure what that means, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what that means. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some sites out there trying to project him to start today. That's fine. Like, if they think James Johnson starts at the 4 and Dorian Finney-Smith starts at the 3, maybe. I'm not too positive that's the case. I assume it's just a website guessing based on what happened like sometime in the past when also some other guys were injured on this team. Like a Powell at that time was injured, right? I like Brunson even more if off the bench. He's seen good run regardless. Yeah, I agree. I think Brunson either way tonight's a quality play. I think that I'm going to be preferring... So from Dallas tonight, I'm going to be preferring Tim Hardaway Jr. over Brunson. And it's just from a standpoint of I have Tim Hardaway Jr. playing more minutes. I have Tim Hardaway Jr. cracking the starting lineup as of right now. So Tim Hardaway Jr. for me is the play over Brunson. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. looks, I mean, not elite tonight, but he's going to start to grade out for like 26 fantasy points at his current price tag of $4,500. That's going to start to look pretty damn good. So he's going to become a yes for me. Updating for the rest of these guys right now. So I'm currently updating for Dwight Powell's minutes. We do have an optimizer now on Patreon, so maybe I'll play around with that on here. Dwight Powell's grading out at $3,000 flat as a stud of a play. So is Willie Cauley-Stein right now, grading out for me for 20.30 fantasy points. Another stud of a play. I currently have Powell grading out higher than Willie Cauley-Stein. That's assuming that he also starts, though. James Johnson doesn't look terrible. James Johnson I currently have for 14.7 fantasy points, but it's still a no for me. If he starts, it'll change a little bit, right? And then that's basically it. Like, some stuff will change on the lower end for some of these guys. Amon Shumpert available to play per Fantasy Labs Twitter. Bump. I don't know what that means, really. Come on, Shumpert. Not the scariest of men these days, by any means. Dorian Finney-Smith really doesn't see a change. Like, barely sees a change without these guys out there. Like, still not in play for me. Do you like Embiid tonight? Yeah, I think Embiid's okay. He continues to be he's like, I mean, him and Vooch right now continue to be so low owned because they're priced up, but deservingly so, they're priced up, right? I mean, Embiid right now is probably the leader for the MVP voting at this point. If it was to end today, does he deserve it? I mean, probably, right, to an extent. I would say that it's probably LeBron yet again, but yeah, the problem with Embiid right now is that you have still James Harden without Durant, right? Now you have Luka without Porzingis. You just have Giannis without, I mean, honestly, without, it's worth saying, Drew Holiday, because it's taking his game to kind of another level for this price tag. So it's just tough to get to Embiid. Like, I have Harden in this order. I have Giannis, Harden, Jokic, and Luka all grading out better than Embiid, and they're all on that same price range. I also have Vooch grading out better than Embiid. What's up, Sal, my man? What's going on, man? Sal, my fiance loved your birthday message. I showed it to her last night. And would you like a chicken or fish? Would I like chicken or fish at the wedding? That's funny. That's a good joke. Yeah, shout out to you and your fiance, man. Hope she had a good birthday. Hope you guys had a good time. Chicken or fish at the wedding, my man? Hey, I'll go light. I'll go with the chicken. I'll go light because we're gonna be doing some motherfucking dancing at that wedding. Garland or Michael Carter Williams? Give me Garland. Oubre or Jeremy Grant? I'll take Oubre. Gets even better. Gets even better if they don't put your boy out there, right? If they don't put your boy Steph Curry out there tonight. Let's should we play around with the optimizer on stream? Should we try and like optimize, see what the top lineup is without changing any rules, without doing anything like that? Should we try and play around with some of that stuff? I'm going to update right now on Patreon for the projections. My top play tonight in terms of point per dollar value, my highest projected play is Giannis by about 2 points more than anybody else. Top point per dollar plays are Dwight Powell, Willie Cauley-Stein, Bembry, McGee, Tim Hardaway Jr. is now cracked at, Aminu, Giannis. So Giannis is this good of a play. He's $11,000, and he's still grading out point per dollar wise for me as like a borderline top 5 play. Same thing for Harden, same thing for Jokic. So my goal tonight, there's enough value now, especially with these $3,000 flat centers from Dallas. People are going to ask me, can you play both of them? I'm going to stick to one. Can one get 26 and one get 22? Sure. I'm probably going to stick to one in my main lineup. In 150s, of course, I'll get 2 lineups of both. I'm not setting a rule against it. They're so cheap. But enough value now to get the 2 studs. You want Giannis and you want Harden. A lot of people will do it, but fine. You want Giannis and you want Embiid. Not a lot of people are going to continue to go back to Embiid, so that's fine. If that's the way that you want to get different, getting a guy who can easily drop you, 90 points pretty recently, easily drop you 60 or 70 like it's nothing. Definitely can get you the 50-point range whenever he just plays 30 minutes. So, yeah. There's definitely ways. It's stars and scrubs galore tonight. It's the season of stars and scrubs, if you will. Let's work through some of this stuff in the optimizer. I'm going to pull it up in a second. Does Wellington resting today change anything for you? Yeah, it's going to change some minutes. It's going to change some minutes and things like that. I'll end up changing after the stream. I'll change some stuff for Ellington. So if I pull up Detroit right now, Wayne Ellington, I ended up giving him 26 minutes. So that's going to change some things. It's going to make, it's going to give like Svi. It's going to give Svi from 18 minutes, like the mid to upper 20s. He's at 3,100. Probably doesn't do much. Frank Jackson probably picks up a couple extra minutes. It probably gives Lee a little bit more floor just in the rotation. But mainly, I'm going to say it's going to be affecting guys like Svi, who just directly fills in as like a small forward. Lee Chalk right now in DraftKings. That's an easy fade for me. Yeah, it's a super easy fade for me as well. What do you take for hangovers? Yeah, man, I don't really, I don't know. I don't drink all that often. And it's pretty easy not to when you can't go to the, like, if I was to go like out to the clubs and things like that, which hopefully I'll be able to do in a couple of weeks / months. Then yeah, I would be drinking, like, I'd just dance my ass off just drinking mixed drinks like I didn't know anything was happening. And then yeah, I'd have to drink a shit ton of water the night before, and then I just drink like Pedialyte. So I don't take like medication or anything. I just drink like Pedialyte. If I drink like one Pedialyte and I make sure I drink water the night before I go to bed, I'm usually fine. Like, I go on a run the next morning. Even if I feel like shit, I force myself to go on a run. Even if I've never thrown up the next morning, but even if I feel like shit, go on a run, sweat it out, drink some Pedialytes. Good to motherfucking go. So let me update this right now for Porzingis plus Kleber out. And then I'll say more updates to come. Bang. So we updated that bad boy. What's up, brother? Let's get it. Jamal Murray or Kyrie tonight? Give me Kyrie Irving, my guy. Give me Kyrie Irving. Definitely in that price range. I want Kyrie. Isn't Wellington out? Yeah, we're going to update it. We're going to update it after the stream. I wasn't paying attention to any of the news today. Your boy's been trying to catch up with all the other shit that's going on in the world. Jamal Murray or Fox on DK? I'll take Fox there. I'll take the Fox there. That's what I'm thinking. Brunson has the second unit to himself. I like it. Sabin Lee lock play tonight, not for me. If anything, I'm more open to just completely getting away from it. Like, obviously, you have to see him start, which everybody is just assuming that this guy's going to start today. Like, I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. has been, I mean, even when he's with New York, like, he's just a turnover monster. He's an inefficient monster. Like, it's kind of like what was happening and still is with Alfred Payton out in New York right now. But, yeah, I would say that there's enough other value, right? If there's no other value, sure, get to Lee if you want to and just pray, hold your nose that he gets you 20 points. But now you have two center plays in the slate that one of them is probably going to play 25 to 26 minutes in Dallas today. That's a better play today than a point guard, shooting guard that might get 25, 26 minutes. If he starts, sure, give him 28. But I'm not too sold on the 0.7 fantasy point per minute production this year of Sabin Lee at $3,100. Even if you give him 25, 26 minutes at 35% ownership today, yeah, I can definitely easily get away from that. Let's see what happens when DeLon Wright's off the court. That's clearly going to be changing some stuff. We'll also take Derrick Rose off the court. Fade Russ or Kyrie. If I had to pick one, I would fade Russ. Any love for Capella versus Allen tonight? Yeah, Capella was very close to making my top 12 earlier this morning in the video. He was very close to making my top 12. Now, with all this other value coming out, he's not really anywhere near that. But Capella, for me, is a pretty quality play. He's one of my yeses today. So my player pool right now on Patreon, I have to limit the player pool, but pretty big slate. Got 55 guys in the player pool. That's pretty decent. Capella is one of my 23 yeses right now on DraftKings. Sup, Sal just popped in to say hi. Richard, how you doing? How's your day, bro? How's your day? Which Dallas center looks better? Whichever one starts. I will take whichever one starts there. I would ideally like to play Willie Cauley-Stein more. He's just a more traditional center, closer to the basket, easier baskets. Dwight Powell might stretch a little bit more to the 5, which gives you an inconsistency in his game because not as many rebounding chances, and he's got to rely on three-point shooting, long jump shots, right? So I would like to play Willie Cauley-Stein more, but whichever one starts. Being in college, I drink more days than not. Pedialyte is definitely the move. Yeah, I used to, my first 2 years of college, I would just, Thursdays started the drinking nights, and then I would go up to Penn State main campus. I was at a satellite, and just Friday and Saturdays, like usually Saturday nights, half the nights, I was just like, yo, we can't do this. Like, we got to just chill. I feel like shit. But it's crazy. Like, my first year in college, like, that's just what it was. Like, you were just there hanging out, like, getting fine, like, results in Penn State. Your boy graduated with a 3.93 or some shit. So, yeah, we were partying and educating ourselves. But, yeah, that first year, I don't know how I did that. Like right now, if I even try to rip like 4 or 5 shots, I'm gonna be a dead body, right? And I would rip 5 or 6 shots before we even went out, like literally just in like an hour, just before we even went out to start drinking. Shit's crazy what the body be like. Robert Williams as a center as a pivot off the centers in Dallas. Never that. Not with all these guys healthy out there. Like Bob Williams tonight, I have projected for 12 minutes. Never that. Ellington is out. Correct. According to the boom bust tool, Embiid is twice as likely to bust compared to Jokic and half as likely to boom. Sounds good. And that is, I would assume, reflected in the ownership. I would assume that you're going to be getting Joel Embiid for like the 30th night in a row, single-digit ownership, and you're going to be getting Jokic for like the 30th night in a row that he's on the slate, 20+% owned. So that's all going to be reflected in ownership. Margarita Day was 100. It sure was. Talk about these Celtics bigs for us, Sal. I'll send you some pistachio muffins, says Joseph. Yeah, the Celtics bigs look okay, right? So if I pull up Boston right now, I have Daniel Tice as the better looking big. I'm not expecting these minutes to stay as big as they have been right now. They're not facing as big of a team now in Sacramento. Like Bagley, not a massive player that you're worried about. Rashawn Holmes being back makes it a little bit bigger of a team. But yeah, right now I have Daniel Tice in a player pool. I don't have Tristan Thompson. Thompson I only have for 17.8 points. Tice I have for about close to 25 fantasy points. So I think that looks a little bit better. So is Pedialyte better than Gatorade? No way. 100%. Not even close. Pedialyte is, in terms of electrolytes, Pedialyte I think has 100 times more electrolytes than Gatorade. That can be a complete bold-faced lie, but Pedialyte's way better than Gatorade. Gatorade just a bunch of fucking sugar. Like if you're a pure athlete, if you're playing soccer nonstop and just running and you're completely dead and you also need that sugar to like replenish you in that type of a way, then sure, go Gatorade. But Gatorade's just flavor without the carbonation, some soda, and add in a little bit of electrolytes, and that's what you get in Gatorade. Gatorade's got it's so overmarketed the amount of electrolytes that they say Gatorade has in it. It's really not much at all. Top Shot opening / giveaway anytime soon? Yeah, if they reach back out to me, they said that in a couple weeks they might be down to do it again. My man says he graduated by bagging 3 9s in the bar. Uh-oh. Say my name when no one is around you. Say my name. There we go. Oubre or Grant? Oubre. It's fun here. I like it. I'm very calm. Good people. Yeah, what's going on, Ankar? How you doing, boss man? How you doing, Ankar? How you doing, boss man? I need a win for my baby mama's payments. That sounds nice. That sounds like something you should probably do. Yo, Sal, Porzingis is out. Correct. Does Powell get any love at minimum salary? Yes, he's my number one overall play in terms of point per dollar. If Curry is out, then it might be different. Yeah, I'm gonna go with like right now. If I go point per dollar wise, like I have more projected points for Grant, but point per dollar wise, like the overall play factoring in price, I'm gonna go Kelly Oubre. Obviously, if there's no Russ, like Grant right now for me is my number 54 overall play. Oubre is my number 34 overall play. So Oubre is one of my yeses. Grant is in a player pool, but barely. So we doing crypto punks anytime soon? Yeah, I got a guy. I sent some Ethereum today to a fella who's supposed to be buying them, but we're waiting on somebody else's money to clear. So ideally, we would have already had a crypto punk today. I mean, the market's tanking, so our Ethereum is going to be worth shit. But yeah, I will be hopefully getting a crypto punk. I mean, they want to do content around it, which, I mean, I'm down to do that, but we should probably also talk about, like, the market might bounce back the fuck up on these crypto punks, and if we wait, like, 4 days because I'm going to be traveling, then that shit can spike up, so that may be something I have to talk to them about, but, yeah, we'll see. Dollar Rooskies, yes, pay up for 2 studs or 1. I want 2. Super Draft must plays tonight. Yeah, I mean, Super Draft slate tonight where all the studs are on the slate. It's a 9-game slate with so many studs, so none of them are must plays. Jokic and Westbrook grade out the best. Westbrook has a 1.35x multiplier, as arguably one of the best plays in the slate on either site today, especially Super Draft. So if you're looking at studs tonight, I like Westbrook the most just because of that added bonus to his multiplier. Holmes or DeAndre Jordan? Holmes. Bruce Brown for $4,500. Must play with Tim Hardaway Jr. Bruce Brown is definitely not a must play. Tim Hardaway Jr. would be closer to a must play. I like Tim Hardaway Jr. tonight. Bruce Brown tonight, I have projected. He's in a player pool for me, but I have him for 23.7 points. I gave Bruce Brown tonight 28 minutes. So not terrible, but nowhere near a must play. Thanks for the Hardaway pick last night. Help me win $60 Rooskies. My man. Let's go. Round of applause to you. Hey, if you fellas are not doing much later today, at 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing a live stream on this channel. Next week, we're actually going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can't announce it yet, but it's going to be somebody you know and probably somebody you love is going to be a co-host on this channel for our weekly Jock Market show. But, and this is a big old booty, we're going to have it tonight at 7 p.m. East Coast time, the Jock Market opening bell show, myself going through the Jock Market up until the lock of that, then analyzing some of my trades, some people's trades in the chat. So make sure you hit the notification bell, right? Like, subscribe, do all those motherfucking things that you're doing right now. All 315 of you in the chat, all the OGs in the chat right now. Talk about the interest with Cavs. I'll send more pistachio muffins. Yeah, we'll get to it in a second. Jokic or Vooch? Jokic. Sal, Boston is playing Dallas, not Sacramento. Yeah, I was talking about Brooklyn playing Sacramento. Did I say Boston in terms of their bigs? Boston playing Dallas, I was saying in terms of size. It gets even better now with Porzingis out, right? So, like, you're probably not going to have to worry about both of those guys being on the court for 35 minutes apiece, which hurts both of their overall upsides. Kyrie or Fox tonight with Giannis? I would go Kyrie. Will Sabin Lee play 30 minutes? I currently don't have him projected for that. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. got benched pretty clearly in the last game for having turnovers. So if Sabin Lee starts, yeah, project him. I'm going to probably give him 28. You can project him for 30 if you want. What's your strategy on Super Draft? How do you know how to play these studs versus someone with a decent multiplier? I have a projection, and I have a kind of sense, I would say, for game theory in terms of ownership. So I like projections, and then based on projections, there's a pretty decent weight to how high your multiplier is. So if you're closely projected players, well, then it's obviously based on what your multiplier is, because every point of variance away from that projection, the better it is for the higher multiplier player. If I had Westbrook instead of Lillard last night, I would have gotten second and took home $20K. Damn, my man. Yeah, we had somebody take down $3,000 in the Patreon Discord on Super Draft last night. We had somebody take down $6,500 in first place on Sunday. They DM'd me. So a lot of people cleaning up right now in the Patreon Discord. Now we have an optimizer for DraftKings. Maybe even down the road we'll implement it for Super Draft. So a lot of people being able to get loud and proud with their dollar Rooskies. Thousands of dollar Rooskies being won right now in the Patreon Discord and the Patreon tools in general. But I want to actually use the optimizer and just see what it's going to crank me out for, like an optimal type of cash build, not putting in any groups or things like that. But this video, if you're watching it right now, this is currently sponsored by Jock Market. It is a daily fantasy sports stock exchange, so you can buy shares and players tonight. And I think that Westbrook is going to be a very appealing player, especially with that triple-double upside. The one thing about Jock Market is their scoring takes off a half a point for every missed basket. So that's where guys like Westbrook can start to become a little bit of a problem in terms of not as efficient. But I'm going to be looking really hard at guys like Westbrook tonight on Jock Market. You obviously have all the studs like your Giannis's and guys like that will be selling out. But I'll be looking at guys like Westbrook on the market tonight and seeing what we can do from that regard. So if you want to check out Jock Market, it's totally free to download. I know you got your phone by you, so if you just want to download it, you can download it. You could use the code SAL20 when you download it. SAL20. Once you do that, they'll give you $20 credit in your account. You can play in the free contest as well. You can now buy shares of players. It's pretty cool. So you buy into the shares before the market closes. The market closes at 7:30 tonight. We'll be live at 7 to 8 to talk about the market if you have any other help or need any other help. But yeah, be sure to get in there, man. Italian gang, stand up. The real Mello is in the room. Hey, fellow Italianos, 100% Italiano in the room. What you doing? Thank you for the top shot the other night. Do you think I should try to unload Boogie as soon as I can? Yeah, man, it's up to you. I think that the market's really inflated right now, so every single card is going to drop. So I would try to sell most cards these days. You can see a lot of people are selling right now. Unless you have a moment like a LeBron moment or just something insane that's a very valuable player. Like, there's so many cards right now that are selling for hundreds of dollars on guys that won't even be in the league in a year, right? That's clearly a mistake. The market is insanely hyperinflated because they're not putting out packs or as much as people want, so there's demand that's not being met, and then people can't get their money out of the site because there's a long withdrawal process and there's issues with the withdrawal process and the site crashes and things like that. So it's creating hyperinflation where the money's staying on the site and people are buying more than they want to. So yeah, there's so many guys who are literally going to potentially be out of the league in like 6 months that are selling for hundreds of dollars. And I mean, those cards are going to be worth maybe $0. Obviously they're like, oh, the first edition, the season 1 packs or whatever, they're going to be worth something. All right. Maybe. But most of these cards are going to be worth like $1 next year. Hey, Mambo Italiano. Hey, Mambo Italiano. Hey, been riding with you since you were running around Penn State looking for a room to record, says Hilton Barnett. My man, who else is OGs in the chat? The other 350 of you motherfuckers in here that are crazy. You fellas, you ladies in here, you gentlemen. What other crazy fellas are in the chat right now? Because, man, yeah, we used to be running around. I used to do videos out of my car at Penn State. I would walk 35 minutes in the freezing cold, carrying so many things in my hands. My hands felt like they're going to fall off. I'd do that at like 5 a.m. just to get a classroom in the pitch black dark. And then I would have to be out of the classroom by like 8:30 or like 7:30 before the 8 a.m. started. So I'd be getting to a classroom at 5, setting up my ring light, setting up my green screen on the wall. People would like walk by, like, what the fuck's going on there? Record a quick video, right? You got to do what you got to do, man. Gotta do what you gotta do. What's the number one center play on Super Draft tonight? Good sir. Murder Bears. What's up, Poppy? What's up, boss man? Number one center play for me there is going to be Jokic. It's going to be Jokic. Outside of the studs, like outside of your Jokic's and your Embiid's, I'll probably go to Cantor at a 1.5x multiplier. How does Zeke and Svi look? Svi, what's going on, Alex Martini? How you doing? Zeke is not somebody I ever want to play. That's not somebody I ever want to play. Like, people are like, oh, he's starting. Okay, cool. I gave him 22 minutes tonight. I gave him 26 minutes last time. He's a terrible point per minute producer. No interest at all. And then you want to talk about Svi. I mean, Svi will be interesting if he ever like becomes what he was, I think, at points early last year, or the year before that, when he actually got to like control the ball more and he wasn't just an off-ball shooting guard who relied on making like all 4 of his shot attempts in the game and getting you a steal or an assist. So I'm going to update for Wayne Ellington out, but I had no interest in Wayne Ellington. Yes, Svi is cheaper than Wayne Ellington, but he's basically like the exact same player. Do you like Jalen Brunson tonight? I like him a little bit more. I remember when you had like 20 subs, Swaggy P says. Swaggy P, I don't know if you can actually remember that because I had about 100 subs when I was doing music reviews. So Svi tonight's going to grade out well at 3,100 for like 17.5 fantasy points once I upload it or update it. But that 17.5 fantasy points isn't all that great, right? Like, he's 3,100, but much more rather have the centers. What's up, cool guy? What's up, boss man? Hey, Sal, I'm looking at Jock Market and it has loads of bad reviews. Is the frustration in the reviews claiming worth the app? It has bad reviews. No, I think it. Wait, where do you see bad reviews in the App Store? That's concerning. No, everything that I've used for the app is fantastic. The user interface is great. Everything from customer service has been great. I'm interested in why there's bad reviews on there. Let's see. So I'm looking at it right now, and it has 4 stars out of 43 reviews. So, I mean, if it's got like 4.2 stars out of 5, which ideally it would be higher than that. But if you have like 1 bad review on only 43 reviews, it's going to sink your stuff. So they have a 90-something% 5-star review rating. So you can have a bad review here and there. That's something that they should probably do, like for me, right? You should probably come to me and be like, hey, do a giveaway so we can get our reviews up. Because you get 1 bad apple that's mad that they lost money on your site, and then you're done. I do not have... So people are just saying like it's broken. I assume that's just early on when the app started. Yeah, this is like dating back months ago. Somebody said it's so... I mean, they got a 1-star review because somebody said it's not accessible for blind users. So, I mean, it's an app where you need to have notifications on. I personally don't know how early on you're supposed to be accessible to blind users. Somebody said they can't create an account. That was very early on. I assume there was some sort of user error there. But yeah. I would download the app, Jock Market. It's free to download. You can play for free. Use the code SAL20. They'll give you $20 to play with. I mean, if somebody's going to give you a 1-star review because they're blind and they can't use your app, I don't know how you're supposed to be accessible for that. I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't personally know how you're supposed to be accessible for that, especially early on. I'm sure there's some sort of voice command things you can start to do, but it seems like a very difficult app to navigate without your eyeballs. Number one sports bet for you tonight, Sal. What's going on, man? I don't bet on the NBA. Once the NFL season stops, well, I'm betting on golf. So, I placed those bets yesterday. So, I have golf bets for Sunday outright right now. I'll probably add some top 20s, but I don't bet on the NBA outside of DFS. I'm playing Jock Market and playing Super Draft, right? Sometimes I'll do player prop stuff on Monkey Knife Fight, but for the most part, I don't bet on the NBA because it's as secure as it gets. I don't follow college basketball, so I don't care about that at all. I bet on PGA, and then sometimes I'll bet on sometimes I'll also bet on MMA. Sometimes I'll tail some of the bets like Manpreet's doing. And smash the like button over here, y'all. Yeah, let's do it. You like DeAndre Jordan? No. Oubre or Norman Powell? Oubre for me. Let's pull up Golden State's minutes today. I'm projecting currently in Stephon Curry, so we'll have to see what happens there. I'm also going to be updating. So pull up Golden State's minutes right now. I'll also be updating later in the day. Right now, Oubre is my only interest from Golden State. That obviously changes if Curry is out. I'm only playing Cantor or Jared Allen tonight. Let me check that. I think it's going to be Jared Allen for me. I'm only playing single entry with 2 games been doing decent. I like that, man. I like that. So between Cantor and Jared Allen tonight, let me tell you where my overall ranks currently are coming in on those guys. Jared Allen, my number 15 overall play, and Cantor. So it's going to be Jared Allen for me. It'll be Jared Allen for me right now between the two of them. The one I was looking at has 2 stars. Yeah, so JB, you're probably looking at the wrong app. Unless you're looking, are you on a different platform? Because I'm looking on the Apple Podcast app. It has 4.2 stars out of 43. Jock Market, JOCK space MKT. Eric Paschal tonight, not for me. Yeah, on the Play Store. Did I look at the wrong app? Oh, you're on the Google Play Store? Yeah, I have no idea what Google Play. I don't have Google Play. I don't have Google. I have to actually update my Jock Market app. There we go. I know early on when they developed the app on Android, people who had older phones were having lag features. So if you had a phone that was 3 to 4 or 5 years old, you were having features with it just being slow, which is more so your phone's fault. Because I had an iPhone that was 4 years old and I couldn't even use half the apps I had. It started to stop making me use Venmo and stuff, so I had to get a new one. But since their recent updates, it's all been good to go. Chat about these Cavs for us, Sal, says Joseph. Yeah, I mean, the Cavs are on the screen in 3, 2, 1. So the Cavs look good. I like a lot of the Cavs tonight. The fact that a lot of other value is opening up makes it a little bit more tough. Even JaVale McGee pops up as a value. It's just 3,500, just some other guys with minute security there. But outside of that, Jared Allen is my favorite Cav, then Sexton, and then Chetty Osman, Garland. They're all kind of in the same area for me right now. That's how I'd rank it out of those Cavs. Not named JaVale McGee. It would be Jared Allen, Sexton, Chetty Osman, and Garland. Russ and Kawhi late night hammer. Yeah, I think that's fine. I also think Russ looks pretty decent. Appreciate you, Sal, for the recommendation and introducing me to Super Draft. Won my first night. Let's go, my man over there. Once I updated my phone from Galaxy S to Galaxy S, the app got better. There was a huge lag with the old phone. It was a bit frustrating at first, but I definitely love it more now. There you go, Luis. Yeah, so that's probably the issue, right? Why people were rating it poorly was, I assume, older phones, and they also they've had many updates since then, which helps. But yeah. Check it out. Sal, I hopped off Twitter, so can't DM you. I'm looking to pick your brain. Career changing. How can I reach you, Brody? What's up, Steven? Yeah, so Vetri Media 19 at gmail.com. I'm also going to be posting. Let me post something in the chat right now. So I'm going to use the optimizer. What's going on to all 340 people up in here right now? Y'all chilling out, relaxing, y'all maxing all cool? How you doing? I want to use the optimizer tonight, but let me post this. Let me pin this up because people were asking about it the other day. So I'm going to pin this tweet up, this thing I just put in there. So you can reach out to me at vetrimedia19 at gmail.com. That's pinned up in my Twitter profile. So if you just want to go to my Twitter profile and you can just see it, you don't have to have an account. But vetrimedia19 at gmail.com if you want to reach out for any questions or anything like that, if you think I can help. Different price points, hard to compare the two, in my opinion, at Andrew. Andrew asks the question, best point per dollar play today, Sal. Right now for me, it's going to be Dwight Powell. Sexton, Garland, I like as well. I agree. Yep. I agree, Mr. Encore. How you doing, boss man? Top 5 highest scores for you tonight. Yeah, so this will kind of correlate over. It's DraftKings, but kind of correlate over to Jock Market in this order for me, and it's so marginal. I have 3 guys at 60. I have 3 guys separated by 0.1 points tonight. So Giannis, Luka, Jokic, Harden, and Embiid in that order. Great work as always, Sal. Who are some of your top tournament plays tonight? Yeah, so guys, I'm just trying to prioritize 2 studs. So it'll be interesting to see how I can get different with value. And if I'm going to eat some chalk value like a Dwight Powell tonight or maybe a Tim Hardaway Jr., then I might get different up top with my stud. So maybe I'll play like a Luka and an Embiid tonight and try and get different on the Embiid side. But there's so many good studs. Like, you have 4 strong studs tonight in Luka, Jokic, Giannis, and Harden that you're naturally just going to have lower ownership on some of those guys, right? Like, I would assume that you're probably going to naturally have some lower ownership on a guy like Luka tonight, and that's fine. So, like, I'm fine to get to, like, a Luka, and I don't mind too much if, like, Harden is going to be 25% owned, right? Sal, I'm running multiple lineups tonight using a new optimizer. I'm so excited. Fellas, don't sleep on Sal's Patreon. Sign up ASAP. My man's a hype beast in here. I got to get my man Skylar a fucking, like, once we move over to the WordPress site, which is hopefully maybe even starting in 2 or 3 weeks, but I got to get my man Skylar, like, an affiliate code. Every man he brings over, kick him back like 25% or some shit. There's the Patreon link just went in from the bata. Yeah, I'm going to pull up right now. Let's pull up the optimizer, and we can play around with it right now. Let's play around with it from like I don't want to set a bunch of groups right now on stream. That's something that I'll probably do afterwards. But let's play around with it from just a overall, but let's just run it. Let's just run it and just see what happens from like an optimal lineup standpoint before creating any groups. Thoughts on Buddy? Had my rationale up above. Mr. Buddy Hield. The boss man, am I crazy to be looking at Buddy? 6 for 29 from 3 the last 3 games. Now Brooklyn loves to give up points. Get right night at his lowest in 15 games. Yeah, I mean, Buddy Hield's okay. The problem with Buddy Hield is just the fact that it's solely reliable. Like, sometimes he'll spike for these rebounding games, but it's nowhere near something that you can expect on. So my problem with Buddy is that, like, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be just as low owned, not that much more expensive, and much more active as an assist player. Similarly active, I would say, as just a shooter. So, like, on his own team, that's where it starts to become an issue for me. Halliburton just had another fantastic game coming off of too. But that's the issue for Buddy Hield for me. It's just, I mean, it's been like this for like 2 years now, but the rebounding rate has really plummeted this year. So we can pull it up to see what Buddy's been doing this year. Now with the centers back and mainly Rashawn Holmes being back, you're getting more minutes for Marvin Bagley. That's what's hurting Buddy Hield. The rebounding rate's only at 12.5% with those guys on the court. I mean, he's shooting terribly as well. 50% is not something you expect out of Buddy Hield. So I just go to Halliburton more. He's shooting 62%. He has a 25% assist percentage, similar usage rates. Would you run Powell and Willie in the same lineup? In my main priority lineup, in my single entry and 3 maxes that are going to have a lot of money up for grabs, like in a lot of contests, no. In my 150 lineups where I want to be taking on variance and I can get to those 2 guys, then sure. But they both play center. They're going to be taking up. You're going to have a lot of opportunity costs doing that. Now, can they both get you 24 points? Yes. Then you have to ask yourself, is that enough? At $3,000 flat, maybe. Maybe it's enough. But in my single entry and 3 max, I won't be. So where a lot of my money is, I won't be. Anthony Edwards tonight, yeah, I'm going to continue to like Anthony Edwards. He continues to shoot 20% over the last 3 games, even though he's taking shots, even though he's playing the minutes, and his price point's slowly dropping. So Anthony Edwards, I have it 34 minutes tonight. I like Anthony Edwards. He's my favorite play from Minnesota. Hey, Tony Romo fan up in the chat. Sal, little strategy on Superdraft struggling with the NBA. Yeah, so have access to projections. Without them, you're almost probably drawing dead. You're just going in blind, so you don't understand the multiplier if you don't have them. And then get into that second tier of players. So like second tier of player, and just always give the edge to guys who are similarly projected to the guy with the higher multiplier. Just always try and give the edge there. So like if we're dropping down a tier, let's look tonight. Like there's a guy right now in Jaylen Brown with a 1.4x multiplier. He projects out as like the same points as guys around him, like a Bradley Beal at a 1.25x, a Steph at a 1.15x. But Jaylen Brown, every point that he scores more, every half point he scores more based on variance than my median projection on him, is worth so much more because of that multiplier. So it seems like a simple concept, but people just go straight to the projection. Well, when you're having that projection so close, the guy with the higher multiplier always wins out for me. Would you play Sexton at guard slot on DK over Fox or Murray? I'd rather Fox. Is Harden still a better point per dollar play than Kyrie for you today? Harden for me is still a better point per dollar play. Harden is overall my number 8 play, Kyrie my number 10 play now. Things changed, of course, since this morning because PG or Kawhi or Kyrie, because obviously lots of news has been coming out, mainly in those Dallas spots, mainly in Dallas. Any interest in scary Cauley-Stein in order to unlock 2 studs? I like Willie Cauley-Stein. I got him for 20.3 points at $3,100. I like his teammate. So whoever starts between Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein. Willie Cauley-Stein is the better fantasy point per minute producer. Powell, I would say, has a better upside in his minutes staying on the court more. But we'll pull up Dallas right now I'm going to have to update this to be certain, but I believe this should be fine. Abel, my man Abel was in here yesterday as well. Hopefully having a good day again. He donates $3 super chat to the stream. I appreciate that. He says, I'm putting my rent money on DeAndre Hunter. Don't talk me out of it. Oh, no. I think DeAndre Hunter is still out. You can't be doing that unless we just got news. Obviously a joke, but yeah. All right, let's run these lineups. Let's run 50 lineups and just see what pops up to the top. Bang. Building lineups. Cat low owned tonight? Yes, sir. How do you feel about Jordan if no Green? I really don't change too much in my opinion. Like I'll probably give him 3 to 4 more minutes, so it gets a little bit better. Brooklyn value with TLC out. Brooklyn value with TLC out basically makes a guy like Bruce Brown more secure. For you. TLC ruled out. You have Tyler Johnson in there, so that's going to pick up a little bit. You have Chris Chioza still, so it makes Bruce Brown a little bit more secure for you. I'll be updating after the stream in about 15 minutes for TLC being out. I'll be updating for the news on Wayne Ellington resting today and being out. And we already updated earlier today for Porzingis and Kleber being out. Will you be adding your SuperDraft interest post chat? Yes, I will be. I'll be adding them the second after I update for those two guys that we just talked about. TLC from Brooklyn and Wayne Ellington. Thoughts on Randall tonight? Looks decent. Going to be low and looks decent. What are your thoughts on Evan Fournier? I think the price point's a little bit too high now for me on Evan Fournier. We can pull up Orlando's minutes right now for me. I currently have Orlando projecting out for 30 minutes, 1.14 fantasy points per minute, which is very high, but there's a lot of guys off the court. He's taking on a lot more ball handling responsibilities, and just overall, with ball handling responsibilities comes a lot more assist opportunities and cashing in on those. So I currently have Evan Fournier for 32.5 points. It's not that great. I'm feeling Bruce Brown gets 35 points. Oof, 35, oof. Uh-oh. Fave Mavs SuperDraft play not named Mr. Luka Doncic tonight. Let's pull up SuperDraft. So my favorite Dallas play not named Luka. Do I like Luka more than some other guys on this team? Let's see. Let's check Dallas here. So Tatum against Dallas. So Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson would be the play there. Obviously, I like Luka more than him, but then after that, it's Josh Richardson. Who's the best center on the slate? So what are you looking for? Are you looking for pay-up centers? Are you looking for cheap centers? Are you looking for point per dollar centers? If you're just looking for $3,000 flat, Dwight Powell, or $3,100 Willie Cauley-Stein, whoever starts there is the best center on the plate. Oubre or Fournier? Oubre. Fading Saban Lee? Yes, right now I am. Who's your top center? If we're talking just point per dollar value, both of the Dallas guys. If we're talking pure points upside, Jokic. If we're talking a guy in the middle of that, like in somebody in the mid-range that can pop off for you a little bit, that's not dirt cheap, it's going to be Jared Allen at 7,500, the upper mid-range. Sal, I was able to use the optimizer around 4:30, then tried from 6 to 6:30 refreshing and couldn't get it to work. Just first day glitches. So today's the second day, unless you're talking about yesterday. Yeah, I assume you're talking about yesterday. You're saying 6 or 6:30. Yesterday, yeah. So yesterday, the problem around 6 or 6:30 was he texted me this morning. He had to add more, I don't fucking know, bandwidth or some shit to the optimizer because he got a lot more people in on it, which is good, than he was expecting. So now he basically just put some more power into that poppy tonight. So like 6 or 6:30 is obviously that crunch time for everybody. So that's when you're going to be getting everybody to come in and basically like crash the optimizer. So some people are having some issues. But yeah, man, should be all good to go now. Irving or Beal? 9,500 left. I'll go Irving. Thoughts on Porter Jr. tonight? Looks okay. Who's your top fade? It's probably going to be Saban Lee. If Saban Lee continues to be this highly owned, it's just a brutally terrible play. Somebody says, Sal knows your mom. Some people's moms, not all. Do you trust any of the lower price guys on Minnesota with the new coach? The lower price guys on Minnesota? I don't know. Like, these guys on Minnesota are just so hit or miss. Are they going to play 26 minutes? I have McDaniels at 26. Not the greatest point per minute producer at 0.74 this year. You have McLaughlin not playing more minutes. I would like to see Jordan McLaughlin play more minutes. If we can see him play 25, 26 minutes, he's a great play. He's a fantastic play at 4,100. But do I trust them? No, I don't trust them. I do not trust them. That's all is what I would say about that. Still on Tice. He's in a player pool. He's one of my 60 guys in a player pool tonight, or 55 guys. Zeke or Saban Lee for value? The answer is neither. I don't want either of them. If you had to pick one, it would be Saban Lee because Zeke might be one of the worst players in the NBA for a fantasy perspective. Picks for cash? Yeah, man. I don't play cash, so I can't help you much there. But I'd be getting to 2 studs tonight. I'd be getting to whoever starts at center for Dallas tonight, and then I'd be getting to 2 studs tonight. I'd probably get to Tim Hardaway Jr., and then I build out the rest. Will Barton looks good. Then I build out the rest. 1.5x or higher dudes for SuperDraft that you're liking tonight. Yeah, so check out SuperDraft if you're not familiar. You can use my name, Sal, if you want to get a free money bonus over there, but we talked about them this morning in the video. 1.5x guys on SuperDraft that I like. So some of the top guys is a 1.5x, Halliburton at 1.6x, Cantor at 1.5, but due to the positionality, a little bit tougher to get to Cantor. I'd go to Halliburton at 1.65x, the most there. Norman Powell at 1.75x, but right at 1.5x, I like Cantor. I like Halliburton at 1.6, and I also like Kelly Oubre at 1.5. Can Shumpert crack the rotation? Yeah, but even if Shumpert, if you told me he played 14 minutes tonight, I have no. If you told me Shumpert played 18 minutes, I have no interest. He's not going to play that much. On a decent sized slate, I struggle picking 1x guys on Superdraft. Am I crazy? Well, I am, but Superdraft speaking, he says. No, you're not crazy. Like Giannis is 1x, Luka's 1x, but you can get away from them, especially when guys like Jokic are 1.2x, Russell Westbrook's a 1.35x, Damian Lillard's a 1.2x. So yeah, I would say that a lot of the times the 1x guys, especially on bigger slates, it's not worth it. Minnesota new coach tonight. Sounds good. So who are your top 5 projected plays tonight? So top 5 projected plays by points, just overall. Giannis, Luka, Jokic, Harden, and Embiid. But Luka, Jokic, and Harden are all separated from me. They're at 60.4, 60.39, and 60.22. So they're all the same fucking play. Harden, or obviously different positions, different prices. Harden, Kyrie, Westbrook, better point per dollar. Please and thank you. So the better point per dollars for me out of those guys, I'll rank them for you right now. My rankings on those guys are Harden, Kyrie, and Westbrook in that order as of right now. Russ or Kyrie tonight, I'll go with. I want to say Russ, and I liked Russ more earlier in the video. He's like my number, I think 3 play when Kyrie was like my number 4 play, I think this morning, or number 5 play. So I want to say Russ mainly because of the ownership. Like Russ is not going to pick up ownership. He's going to continue to drop these 60-point nights at like 5% ownership on these bigger slates as people run away from him. Kyrie's going to be one of the highest owned guys. So if you're asking me which guy do I like more from a point per dollar standpoint, it's Kyrie. If you're asking me from an entire GPP standpoint of I have a chalky lineup and I need to get different somewhere, yeah, I'd rather play a 4% Russ tonight than a 25% Kyrie Irving. That's where I'm at with that. Morris or Barton? Barton. Carter Williams style, just like not moving the needle. I probably rarely get to Carter Williams tonight in any situations. Just other guys in that range, like a Will Barton, that I would rather get to. Tonight. I'm gonna go hiking in the mountains in Maine this weekend. I'm gonna be going to Arcadia, so don't murk me. But yo, what happens if a bear shows up? Like, what the fuck do I do if a bear shows up in the mountains, yo? I'm very curious on that question. Like, my buddy's gonna get bear spray, but what the fuck do I do? Just people say get big and yell at them. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm going to fucking do if a bear shows up. Yeah, okay. I'm going to yell at the bear. I'm going to scream and try and scare the bear away from me. I mean, I'm not going to sprint away. I'm just going to kind of stand there and just be like, all right, just don't eat me. We chilling. Randall, Kawhi, or Kyrie? I want to say Kawhi to that. Like, the answer is Kyrie, but yet the answer is Kyrie. If you're building a lineup, Kyrie. But if you need lower owned guys, somebody else. Starting my lineup with Harden, Jokic, Edwards, and the Mavs center. I like it, Alex. I like it. Beal, Westbrook, Towns, or for more points tonight. Give me Westbrook. Give me the Westbrook. Shumpert is trash. Correct. Edwards 1.7x multiplier. I like that. Thoughts on Tristan Thompson? I know it's but he's cheap and been kind of productive lately. I'd rather go all the way down and punt at center. Somebody says don't run. Stop, drop, and roll. There we go. What contest do you usually play in? What's going on, Anchor? I usually play in, so I play in 150 maxes, but I mainly like to play small field, single entry, and 3 max. So a lot of my money will be down in small field, single entry, and 3 max. So like under 1,000, ideally under 500 people. And you might be saying, the salads are all the $300 buy-ins. They're those, but they're also not. You scroll down the board. You'll see $5 buy-ins with 300 people in them. $1,500 in the prize pool. Obviously, the rake takes their rake part of it, but there's like $400 to first. And people just overlook it because they're like, I don't want to win $400. I want to win $100,000. And then they never won $100,000 and they never won any money and they're down thousands of dollars on DraftKings when they would have had a way better chance at hitting them. So the nights where you actually play all those single entry and 3 maxes, right? And you have a better chance of winning, the nights where you have that one lineup pop off, your single entry pop off and win, right? It's knocking down 10, 11 of these contests at once. And you're winning $200, $100 here, $400, $500, $1,000 there, right? And you end up winning $16,000, right? That happened to me early in January. You end up winning this 5-figure prize from none of your contests even being in the 4 figures. Maybe one of them was like $1,500 win, right? But you're just knocking all these ones down because you literally only have to beat 500 people. So your lineup doesn't even have to be great. It's not even going to probably finish top 100, top 500 maybe even in the big contest. And you're winning 5 figures in this one because it's just contest selection. It's as simple as that. You got to beat 200 people in some contest. Your lineup doesn't have to be that unique. Get different in fucking 2 spots. And those 2 spots can be getting different by playing Joel Embiid. So, I can get different by playing a guy who's going to be dropping like 60 points a game. Sure. Yeah, I'll do that, right? And that's what most of the nights have been lately. Amino worth the play? Meh. If a bear is chasing you and your boy, the answer is simple. Trip your boy. Oh, no. It's one of my best friends, though. I think I'd rather him take me. How do you feel about Bembry? Meh. We'll have to see what happens with Kyrie's status. But all these other guys right now on the slate just make me rather not get to these other guys. Like, Bembry ranks out for 22.2 points, so he actually looks pretty good. So, Bembry, he looks good, but he's not an X. Be faster than the other guys in regards. Great park, have fun. Thanks, man. Draw a circle around them. They hate to chase you in circles. Is that true? Sal, what's your DK username? SallyBoy96. All seriousness, Sal, make sure you take some type of pistol. Never know what you might run into. We all do when you go fishing in the mountains. That's the issue. I'm going to be on a plane. I mean, I know you can check a gun, but I don't have my own gun. When I move to Texas, I'm probably going to get myself a nice little firearm. But yeah, I might tell my buddy to bring a gun. I know he definitely has some, so I might tell him to bring a gun. I'm going to be talking to him tomorrow. It's very true, Sal. Yeah, for sure, man. Smack the like button. 300 plus watching. Let's show Sal some love. Yeah, show me some love. I appreciate that. Like, subscribe. I want to be even adding more content. I want to be adding some shows about the NFL offseason stuff, right? That prep up to the draft. Some dynasty stuff with myself even, but also some other creators. But yeah, the NBA shows are going out daily. The live streams are going out daily. We won't have a live stream, unfortunately, on Thursday and Friday because your boy will be in the mountains. But I'll have a Thursday video out in the morning before I leave. I'll have Dylan do a Friday video on Friday. His Stars and Scrubs will be back and maybe even some weekend content. But MMA content on Thursday, NASCAR content with Chris on Friday. A lot more content on the channel. We're only trying to grow it bigger. So it's all because of you, ladies and gentlemen, you fellas supporting. So thank you. Vetri Media is for clowns, says Biden for Senate. Yeah. Get your noses on. Get your noses on, fellas. Horter from Atlanta is a good play since Reddish is out. Yes. Yes. Horter is a lovely play. Okay play, I would say. How you feel about Kevin Horter? Okay play. Also, let me pull this up right now. So I read that quickly. Cam Reddish is doubtful. So I guess not officially out, but yes. The pistol is just going to piss off the Bears, somebody says. Thoughts on Nerlens Noel and Kevin Horter? So I'll pull up where they're at right now for me in a projection standpoint. We can pull up New York's minutes. We haven't really talked about New York much right now. Not much in New York is standing out. Noel is my favorite play on New York. Noel I currently have projected for 28 minutes today. I have him as a yes with 26.3 fantasy points. So I like Noel today. I'll have to update Kevin Horter, but Kevin Horter's in play, not a yes. Somebody says, Sal for President 2024, says Ancor. Too kind, too kind. Damn it, everything I try and get back into this chat and stream, my wife tries to talk to me about gardening and about veggies or what the plants are. That's a lot for us city folks. What city you live in, Evan? What city you live in? How do you feel about Harden and Kyrie in the same lineup? I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Hey, Sal, what's your thoughts on Garland tonight? I prefer Chetty Osman from his team. I prefer Sexton from his team, but he's in a player pool. Thoughts on a mini? What does a mini mean? Like a mini max? Let me pull up the optimizer and see what we got from these lineups. So... and let me see. Sal, I'm late to the party. Who's the cheap plays? Brother, hoping Jeffrey starts, and I like Lee. Yeah, I don't know if Jeffrey's going to start. I'm currently projecting in Barnes, so I don't know if Jeffrey's going to be starting out there. I'm not too sure. Oh, I was like wondering why is the build's not building correctly, but it's got the showdown slate in. So let's now actually go up to the main slate and not the showdown slate, so we can actually get to this. The Tuesday slate. And now we can actually build out a lineup here. So let's build out a lineup on the optimizer, and I'll pull it up on the screen. Let's see what my top lineup is projection-wise. You guys only playing DK? I'm going to be playing Jock Market tonight. We'll be doing the Jock Market show at 7, and I'll also be playing not just Jock Market, but Super Draft tonight. Do you like Sadiq Bey? Not really. Singletary, you prefer Kyrie and use that money in another spot or get to Harden? I'd rather get to Harden, my man. Capella or Allen? Allen. What's your thoughts on Fournier? I think he's a little bit too expensive now. Will Barton or Oubre? I'll take Will Barton for the price savings. Joker or Cantor? I'll go Jokic. So this is what the optimizer looks like. It's brand new. You can build team stacks. It's brand new over on Patreon. You can't see over all the way to the left column right now. So this is me not putting any rules or groups into it right now. We're going to be enhancing it as we go on with like randomness and stuff like that. So I don't have any uniques in. Actually, I think I have just like 3 or 4 uniques in for this right now. But you can do team stacks, position stacks. This is just included in Patreon right now, right? So this is just included in Patreon. A Patreon reached out to me. He's like, yo, I'm building an optimizer. So I was like, all right, let's do it. We'll have the ownership projection in there when it gets closer. So this is my highest projected lineup right now based on the optimizer, based on my current projections. This stuff can definitely change. It has the current 2 centers for Dallas in there. That's something that I don't think I would personally run. So like I can set a rule, right? You can go to player groups right here, and you can basically just say, yo, I don't want. So you can say, give me Dwight Powell. So Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, right? So when you have Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, I want exactly one of these guys, right? So give me exactly one of them. So if I'm building a cash lineup or I'm building my single entry lineup or my 3 max or my 20 max, whatever it is, if you see those guys together, only give me one of them. And then you can go through and you can build another build. So you can go through a new build and you can generate it. So that's like a massive tool to have. Because if you're like, yo, I don't want these fucking guys in the same lineup, but I want to get both of them, right? So I don't want to X one out or lock one in. So this is just included now. So an optimizer, like you want to go pay for an optimizer separately, it's going to cost you like $50. And then you pay for somebody else's tools that are like 50. You can get it all included right now. All sports package, 20, 25 bucks, depending on which Patreon you are. Sal with the fire. Yeah, my man. Look, I'm all about value. Look, we got some contractors in the site, right? I'm contracting some guys out. We're paying the guys who are putting their time in and doing the MMA and the NASCAR video, right? We're trying to build something special here, a little media company. But we're trying to do it right. We're trying to get the whole way, trying to continue to give value to the people who are supporting it, the people that allow me to bring on more people, allow me to go live at 4:30 on a Tuesday, right, and talk about NBA, you people. So we're trying to give as much value as possible. So that's what this optimizer is. It's right now available for the end of February for all patrons. There's actually there's a chance I leave it on for just all patrons. Might add it into the priority tiers, but there's a really good chance I just leave it on for all patrons because it seems like people are getting value. So this is what it's popping up right now. It's spending all the salary. It's playing Kyrie, Kevin Huerter, Bembry. So that's another thing. Like in a lineup together, I don't know if I want Kevin Huerter and Bembry. So I'll go through and I'll set a rule. Give me one of Kevin Huerter and Bembry. It's going with Giannis and Harden for cash as the studs. Tim Hardaway's getting in there. That makes sense. Dwight Powell, if he starts, that makes sense. So this lineup looks great. The only thing I probably will set is give me one of Bembry and Huerter, and then it's going to change up some stuff. It probably tries to throw in like a Lee. He's not projecting out well for me, but probably something like that. Evan Crowell says value day trader pick of the day. That's on you, man. That's your news. Lowry is now doubtful. Alrighty, we'll update that in a second. So we've been live for around an hour. I'm gonna bounce because I got to eat some food, and then I got to go live at 7 p.m. for the Jock Market live stream tonight. So be sure to tune into that one as well. That's at 7 p.m. You hit that notification bell to help you a lot. Is Embiid over Luka and L? I don't think so. No. Anunoby season. Sal with the fire. Thanks, man. Thoughts on Dame tonight? He's just kind of getting lost in the sauce compared to those other guys. Sal, need your pick. Chetty or Barton? I'll take Barton if I had to pick one. Any love for Trae Young tonight? Not much. Sal giving us so much value over on Patreon. You got to join. Definitely join in. Join in for sure. I personally can't play Bembry. He stinks. Yeah, I can't blame you on that one. But like in that type of a lineup, I'm probably going to get away from it. The rest I like. Yeah, the rest look pretty decent, right? I'm not going to play that lineup, but I think it's pretty decent. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. If you want to come support the new show, the more people that support it, the more people that enjoy it. It's a nice sweat. You get a sweat before the lineups even start for Jock Market because you got to get that closing bell at 7:30 tonight. People are going to try and steal your shares. So from 7 to 8, we'll be live. Be sure to check it out. Thank you all for a ton for tuning in. Like, subscribe, do those things. Support the sponsored Jock Market of the show. Code SAL20, free download the app, free to play on the app as well. Code SAL20 will give you $20 real if you want to get in for that type of action. Thank you so much for tuning in. I shall see you all in the next one. I see we just got a question quick. He said, can you show me how to move the optimizer lineups into DK? Yes, you just use this export CSV. This button right up here. Oh, it's all the way to the top. You can't see it right now. Export CSV. You click that. It makes you an Excel file. And then you go into DraftKings where it'll say edit lineups. And it'll be a drop down to change your CSVs. There's very quick and easy stuff. On YouTube that can show you how to do it. So be sure to check that out.